In many ways, I think we should be really proud of the Baftas because, in principle, they're a very admirable thing. You know, they're not like the Césars in France or any of the sort of equivalents in other countries where it's very, very parochial and they only mention things that have been made in that country. The Baftas, you know, are about the whole world cinema scene with a slight British, you know, tilt.
There's a mole right at the top of the circus. He's been there for years.
Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy has come roaring back into the awards race. It was completely shut out of the Golden Globes, incredibly. It didn't get a single nomination. Obviously, it's a British film. These are British awards. It would have got some awards, but it's done really, really well. It's got 11, I think, including one for Gary Oldman.
We're not so very different, you and I. We both spend our lives looking for the weaknesses in one another.
I'd like to see Tinker Tailor get a kind of a big honour at some stage of this award ceremony. It's kind of one of those films that when it debuted in Venice last September, it was seen as, oh, this is like almost a front runner for Oscars. And it's been outpaced. It kind of almost, it arrived too soon and the interest level has kind of waned because of that. But it may well have a sort of last spurt in the final straight. The director category, I think, is particularly strong this year. You've got Michel Hazanavicius for The Artist, you've got Thomas Alfredson for Tinker Tailor, Lynn Ramsey's in there, Nicholas Winding Refn, and almost I think the weakest person in the director category is Martin Scorsese for Hugo, and he won the Golden Globe. But you look at the others and you think, yeah, any of these could win and they'd be worthy winners.
He's trying to go through on the inside. And a collision. Senna has been hit.
After not even making the long list at the Oscars, Senna has come out with 3 nominations, which includes the Editing Award, the Documentary Award, and we probably expect those two. But it's also been nominated in the Best British Film Award, which I think is fantastic and really kind of shows how strong a year it's been in British documentary in particular. I'm not sure if Senna's going to win because in 2009 Man on Wire won and that was a documentary, so it's probably not going to be a winner, but it's really good to see Senna get the love that it should have got from the Oscars.
I think the lineup for Outstanding British Film is really, really strong. One film that didn't make it was The Iron Lady, which actually hasn't done quite as well as people suspected it would have done. It's kind of a divisive film and has sort of had lots of criticism of its portrayal of Margaret Thatcher, so perhaps that weighed in the voters' minds.
So you just moved to LA?
No, I've been here for a while.
What do you do?
I drive for movies.
Is that dangerous?
It's only part-time.
I'm slightly surprised to see Kerry Mulligan get a supporting actress nod there. That's great. I sort of hope it's not at the expense of someone like Olivia Colman, who's great in The Iron Lady as Carol Thatcher. And actually it's a bit sad to see Olivia Colman overlooked for her work, the leading actress. But in Tyrannosaur, in fact, Paddy Constantine's film, although it's full of really established people like those two and Peter Mullen, has been sort of relegated to this newcomer thing.
Can you just, like, get off my shoulders?
No, I'm just directing you. Just... Right, okay, just don't open them, I'll tell you. Stay there.
What now?
Yeah.
Another very strong category this year is Outstanding British Debut. It's got films like Submarine, Attack the Block, Tyrannosaur, Paddy Considine's directorial debut, and Coriolanus, the Ralph Fiennes Shakespeare adaptation. One film though that's is a real fairy story. I mean, the makers of it must be absolutely beside themselves. Is Black Pond, which is a this micro-budget crime thriller, clearly shot in their own houses and just on the in the local park. They've been nominated for a Best British Debut, so great for them, and it shows there's a lot of health in the micro-budget sector as well as in the kind of pricier element.
All of these film awards, I suppose, are like versions of reality. Each one comes along and tells you that its list of films are the best movies of the year. And so you look at the Globes list and you think, really? Is that the best movies of the year? And the BAFTA list is way better. The BAFTA list I can look at and think, oh yeah, this does reflect the depth and the interest level and the quality of films that were out this year.